What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Trey, the Brew Daniels. What another glorious day it is, because it's another episode of the Indie Corner, where I sit down with everybody from the independent community, writers, artists, directors, producers, doesn't matter if you're in the game, I want to talk to you. And today we have special guests. You all know how much I love a good tag team. Give it up, everybody, for AJ and Paul, aka the Pond Bros.
Woo! Loving that. What an intro.
The generic 80s tag team.
Yeah. It is so good to have you fine gents on the show today. You honor me by your presence. This is really, really awesome. I've heard a lot of great things about you guys, whether via social media or creatively. The fact that you all are making the time to sit there and talk to your boy, this is a huge honor and privilege.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you back.
Oh, no. I really do appreciate it. But I can sit there and gush for this entire time. But this is about you all getting to know each other. So let's just start with Paul. Tell me about you, who you are, where'd you come from, how do we get here?
Okay, so I'm actually from Surrey, England. So if you worked out from the accent, I'm not from America. I love America. So, that's the first thing, Nice. But I have a day-to-day job. I'm a general manager of a movie theater.
Sweet.
But I'm a massive fan of the world of wrestling.
Oh yeah. I like that.
Massive fan. But in the last kind of 4 years, I've kind of stumbled across social media. I think lockdown is what came about from it. And, on one social platform, I'm known as Goonie Dad because I'm a super fan of the movie called The Goonies. And it's an amazing movie, and I hope you're a big fan yourself.
Oh, yeah. I pretty much bleed it at this point. That joint got me hooked on Paydays for about 10 straight years. So, in that time, I kind of was sharing my passion about that movie, but I was also finding out things about America and American food and stuff like that. So I started to post about the differences between UK and America. And then I kind of found this other guy doing the same thing, but in reverse. Some crazy guy that liked beans on toast. Oh my God.
His name is AJ Slambino.
That guy right there. So let's go ahead and tag in your tag team partner here, AJ. So Paul's got it started. So you got the hot tag. So tell us a little about yourself. How do we get here? So
I'm AJ. I live in America, but I love the UK. Totally weird that happened. Huge fan of professional wrestling. I was a pro wrestler for over 20 years.
No shot. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, always loved wrestling. And just like Mr. Goonie Dad himself, during lockdown, I found social media and was like, I can start doing this because I like to entertain, and I wasn't wrestling anymore, so I was like, I needed something to kind of replace that, and social media was it. And I started testing British foods, and it was literally a joke at first. Somebody I knew over there, I was kind of messing around. It was a joke. It went viral, and and if I never did that, then I would have never met Paul, and this would have never happened. So it's been pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story when you really think about it, how it kind of came together.
That's incredible. Wow. It's two minds that just happen to collide. That's dope. I like all of that. So, okay, cool. So Paul is on a search for some American treasures. AJ was searching for the British Isles. So when you guys came together, what unified you two? And I'll start with Paul.
Okay, what I think is what unified us is that, as much as we both found social media, we stayed humble and true to ourselves. We're both working fathers, and we take nothing for granted. We live our life to the fullest right now, and I think what's brought us more and more together is that we've both realized and established that our time is not over.
Yeah.
Our time is just beginning, and there's this new crazy adventure in front of us, and that together we can achieve so much more. And I think that's what it's become, is like something's like a pipe dream, it's not kind of real, but then you've got this other guy that feels and thinks the same way as you do, and it just makes it more like it's a reality that these things can actually happen. And we've been doing so much so quickly already. It's wild.
Wow, that's incredible. AJ, what you got to add to that, my brother?
Yeah, so it's like, the whole American UK thing, that's like such a side thing to really like the friendship and how it came together. And the funny thing is, the first time we ever made a video with each other, it had nothing to do with food. We just realized this, in February? We were
when I visited it.
Yeah. We're like, what was the first video we ever made together? And then we looked and we're like, what? This has nothing to do with food or UK or USA. It was the weirdest. I don't even know how it happened, but it was the first time we did a duet with each other on TikTok. And it's crazy because it's like Paul said, I mean, we have real lives. We both work full-time jobs, kids, Paul's got a wife, I have my girlfriend here, and we have this whole other life, and to come together, our minds are so similar. It's crazy. I know what he's thinking, and he knows what I'm thinking. And we can literally, I mean, we wore the same shirt. We didn't even talk about it. That's
insane. Like, let me be clear. That is insane that y'all didn't even talk about this, and y'all just whipped out the same shirt. Yeah. Y'all, Paul's on the other side of the world, and y'all wore the exact same shirt.
I mean, it happens way too often. I'm like, wait, where did you get that shirt? Where did you get that shirt?
You work out.
Brothers from across the pond, y'all live up to your name.
Where that came from.
You know what? I deserve that. I deserve that. I deserve that. Yes, Pond Brothers. And just hearing y'all talk the last couple minutes, how y'all literally must have been split at birth. Somebody better talk to somebody's mama, somebody better talk to somebody's daddy, and somebody better call Maury Povich, because somebody done messed up somewhere. So yeah, but that's really, really great to see how you guys came together. And I love to see teams like that come together, especially in such an organic way. It's really, really cool. So a question I want to pose to AJ, because being a pro wrestler for 20 years, I did combat sports for quite some time. I used to train in Strike Force and all that other great stuff. I'm not going back to the Octagon ever again. So, but doing that for 20 years, I know it takes a toll on your body. Were you in the indie circuit for that long, or did you ever work for a major promotion?
So, I mean, I did the indies forever, obviously. I traveled all over the United States. But I did TNA back in 2003.
Okay.
Wrestled Road Dogg, R-Truth, and Conan.
Nice.
I was on a TV show in America called Ring Warriors.
I remember that.
So I was on that show
for
the whole year that it was on. I was part of the Slambinos with Disco Inferno was our manager. And we were on that. We were on TV for the year, but I've done TV in Florida for companies. I mean, I've wrestled all over. I wrestled major names all over the place. I mean, it takes a toll on your body, but the love and the passion for it, it just doesn't. It doesn't matter. It hurts. Of course, it hurts.
Yeah.
But when you love it, it doesn't matter, and that passion never goes away. Because wrestling's like the mafia. When you're in, you're never getting out.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. And I was just about to ask you: have you officially retired, or?
Oh no! Wait a second. Retired? No. Listen, I've dropped 61 pounds over the last couple months because it's time to get back in the ring.
Uh-oh.
And, I have this new partner that I have to show him the ropes because it's his pipe dream to get in the ring as well. So
no shot, Paul.
Both get in the wrestling ring, and we can both the Pond Bros tag team.
Ooh, I'm loving all of that. Oh my God! And I don't know if anybody's listening, but Dre would love to be on commentary. If anybody, of value, if the powers that be are listening. But yeah, that sounds really really cool. So Paul, now I got tag you in, Paul. You want to get into the ring? Talk to me, brother.
I do. Like for me, massive fan since Hogan versus Warrior, title versus title, WrestleMania 6. That was my kind of like opening, and very difficult to try and get wrestling on TV in the UK back in the day. So I've been very lucky and fortunate to watch it still for all of these years. And, the getting into the ring has always been that, it never happened. It's not a thing for me. I never ever thought about pursuing it. Not even thinking that it's possible. Just something like, wow, wouldn't that be amazing if I could ever do that? Because I always loved watching it. I'm really engrossed into the storytelling, what these professionals do for a living. But this Pond Bros that we have, and crazily there's a comic as well, right?
Indeed. There is a thing that may or may not be on both of your shirts.
Maybe. But that has kind of catapulted it even more as to why can't we be the Pond Bros?
Why not?
And now I've been training for the first time properly in my life.
Nice.
I mean, physically training for myself to get in a fitter place, because I want to take it seriously and I want to do it justice. But it's that thing of just that the music breaks, go through the curtain, walk down the ramp, step foot into the squared circle, but with AJ Slambino.
That is incredible. Wow.
Is the thing. And we've got our story ready to go. There is a legitimate story to tell.
Oh, I like that. And okay, oh man, now I'm excited. Okay, so I mean, don't spoil too much for me. But I mean, but Paul, have you come up with your gimmick yet? Do you know what you wanna do in regards?
Well,
to
I am going to stick with GD,
okay,
which is what it says here.
Okay.
On that, and this is AJ. But I don't know. Can we say what we spoke about yesterday? Is it cool, AJ? Is it?
Yeah,
this is your world.
Yeah, why not? What are they breaking the kayfabe, brother?
Let's do it.
So the truth is, I'm as green as you get, and and it's going to be that thing that I'm there, I'm green, and they don't take us seriously whatsoever. And the story and the journey is about me taking it seriously.
Very cool.
Going with the training and coming back and kicking their butt. I don't want to say it. Their ass. I kicked your ass.
That's it. That's great. I love. Oh my God. Oh, I got bear witness to that. That sounds tremendous, and I love that. I always love the green guy storyline that everyone underestimates. You can go back. I always love short runs like that, and because it's easy to make a baby face like that. So I think that's gonna be really really cool. Wow, that is top tier, and I can't wait to see what you do in the ring, Paul. I am excited about that. That sounds really cool.
Lie, I'm super nervous.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Performing is no joke. Like anybody that's doing anything that's done a live performance, like I've done stand-up comedy, I've done all types of other things, and there ain't nothing more tense, but nothing more satisfying than when you're in front of the live crowd and then they respond to you. It's like nothing you've ever experienced. So I'm excited for you, Paul. I'm excited for you.
Well, but you know what he doesn't know though is Paul doesn't know this yet though is that my bump card's at like the end, so his is nice and fresh and clean.
It is fresh.
Like he's gonna have, he's gonna be the I'm trying to think of a wrestling analogy. People, what I would normally say is the Rock and Roll Express,
of course.
Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson. Yeah, he's gonna be the one taking the beat, and I'm taking the hot tag.
You're the hot tag.
I don't have that much left in me anymore.
Hot tag and run wild. Yeah, I love it. Now, staying on that theme, I'm legitimately excited. I'm gonna get high blood pressure talking to y'all. This like this is really good, and to see that y'all not only have your friendship, but actually legitimate building something that to go to the ring is insane. So with that in mind, let's talk about the book that you guys are cooking up right now, Pond Bros #1. And now that I know more of your history and more of y'all coming together, this show takes it to a whole nother level now, because now it's a whole new ball game. So where did you guys, now we know obviously the history is there, but why make a comic in this regard for your characters essentially?
Go on, AJ. This one's for you.
What's that?
This is for you. Go on.
Oh, well, I think first, like, when this whole idea came about, I went to the UK in January. We were in MegaCon.
Ooh,
we were
great.
guests of MegaCon and Talkfest. So we were just there hanging around, like, I went for the weekend because it's cool. Like, I get to hang with my best friend and we get to like walk around the comic convention, and people were like, "Oh, Pawn Bros," everybody was like, we weren't even called really Pawn Bros yet. We were just, they knew who we were,
Mm-hmm.
And we met Hades, the other Paul.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of sparked an idea for him, because like it was like a couple weeks later he had reached out and was like, he kind of had this idea. And then the idea of making it wrestling is because we both love wrestling. Like, he's talking about Hogan and Warrior, WrestleMania 6. And for me, it was WrestleMania 3, Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat.
Oh my God, I love that. Oh, sorry, please. I'm sorry. I got excited.
No,
Go for it.
It's probably, to me, is one of the best matches in wrestling history.
I think it's the greatest IC title match ever performed.
Right.
In my personal opinion. Yeah.
I could watch that match a million times over, and it never gets old to me. I was a kid, I was a little kid, and to me, we both love wrestling. So when we started talking about this, you have somebody, he loves the 80s, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, obsessed.
I love wrestling. We're taking this 80s and this wrestling, putting it together into a comic book, which, I'm sorry, but every kid's dream is to be in a comic book.
100%.
Ever. So, right? So you have like the two coming together to form this mega team. And then, of course, Pawn Bros, obvious, because we're from across the pond from each other. And it's so crazy because even the conversations throughout all of this of building this book, the way everything, even with other Paul, bounced off each other.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, because he's a wrestling fan too, so it made it even easier. And the way when you talk, and if anybody could ever sit in a conversation between the three of us, it's literally like ding 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 ding. Everything's bounced off, and we're all like, everything's on the same. It's crazy how we're all on the same page because we all love the same things. I think I think that's part of it, is that there's a passion for all that stuff. So
that chemistry is severely volatile. I love it. I love it.
Right.
That is really cool. And and brief little spoiler. So Hades reached out to me and he was like, Dre, I met these guys named the Pawn Bros. They're great. They're fantastic. They have these great ideas. We're going to write for them. It's going to be tremendous for the Anyone world. And I'm going to reach out to them and I want you to do voices for when they do it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, Paul, you had me at hello. So when he said that idea and like told me it's gonna be a wrestling book, he was like, Trey, you're a huge wrestling fan. You can be commentary. It's like could you do it? Could you do it? I'm like, yes, Paul. Yes, I could do it. I could do it. And so when I heard your guys' idea, the first thing came to my head was, why didn't I think of that? That's the first thing came to my head. I'm like, I've been writing for years. I'm like, wrestling book. Duh. But it was a really good idea, and I think you guys are really capturing lightning in a bottle, because there's not enough, in my personal opinion, wrestling, like non-mainstream wrestling fantasy, if that makes any sense.
No, you're right.
Yeah, because like we have WWE, TNA, AEW, ROH, but as far as like literature or offshoots of that, not much. So there was a show back 20 years ago called Kinnikuman Legacy, or in English it was Ultimate muscle. And it was a anime style cartoon which dealt with intergalactic wrestling. It was hilarious. It had jokes. It had good character work. It had they pulled a lot from what was that AAA. They pulled a lot from what was around during that time. So it was like AAA, ROH was just getting started, and of course they pulled from WWF at the time. And it was a great show. I mean, it was tremendous. It was tremendous. Great character stuff. So ever since then, I really haven't seen anything that's wrestling related when it comes to the outside of professional wrestling medium. So to see that you guys are pulling off something like this, that gets me fired up to see that not only are you great wrestling fans coming together to try to make something cool, but to actually expand wrestling in of itself. So I'm really excited. I'm really glad that you guys are really doing this. But this is it's incredible to me. Like, I'm a fanboy.
I feel like nobody's doing this.
I
and
agree.
Then, you know, I think nobody is doing this. Like, nobody's making a comic book about wrestling and the intergalactic world. And then not only that, I don't think anybody that's a social media content creator is doing this either.
No.
When I look at social media, right, I hate saying that we're influencers or anything like that, but we do make content, and we do have a lot of
Followers.
fans, friends, followers on there.
1.3 million. I'm going to say it. 1.3 million.
That's
we have a combined over 1.3 million. And
that is a lot.
Right, and the thing to me is that when I look at creators, they're all doing the same thing, right? Whether it's trying to sell something on TikTok Shop or nobody's thinking outside the box. And I think this is completely outside the box. And I really hope that doing this takes off, this comic book. Maybe we can have other creators that we're friends with create their own comic books, right? And work with Hades and maybe it opens up a new door for other people too. Because
Agreed.
We're not afraid to step through this door, and maybe some people will say, "Oh, let's go through it with them," or let's.
You mean AJ? About. You're trying to step through the forbidden
door?
Well, I like that. This is the forbidden door of social media. We're opening the door.
I like it.
Yeah. And
that was good. That was good, Dre. I like that.
Once in a while, I got one. Once in a while, I got one in my back pocket. But what you're saying is absolutely correct. There's a whole lot of the same things going on social media, and it's so boring. From our generation, like, social media didn't exist yet and all the other great stuff. So the idea that you guys are able to take off in social media and get that type of following is tremendous, and it's a testimony to how great you guys are doing. So that's wonderful in of itself. But the fact that you're taking what is essentially a newer age thing and making it not only your own, but pretty much breaking down the walls and getting in there and making something cool and unique. And you have, I think, a big enough following for it to actually catch on to something. So that's really, really good. And if you open like you said, if you kick down that forbidden door, who knows who else would like to join in and make something great.
Right.
Palm Bros might have to make their own wrestling promotion at this break if it gets that big.
You never know.
Why did you say that?
You never know.
Uh-oh, what's going on now? Uh-oh.
I think we got a commentator if we do.
Oh, you most certainly do. You most certainly do. Color commentator, right her.
Yeah.
You ain't got to look
But I
far.
will tell you this. I've got one request.
What you got for me?
You've got to be both commentators, but you've got to do one in the American accent and one in the British. But one person. Who else is doing that?
Oh, I accept.
No one else is doing that.
Oh, I accept. I accept. Now, okay, does the heel commentator, is he going to be the color or the play-by-play?
He's got to be the color.
I accept.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
accept. I accept your terms.
Yeah.
I accept your terms. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And the heel's going to be British. No offense, Paul. He's going to be
I'm down
British.
with
I
that.
agree.
He's going
Down with
down.
that.
Absolutely.
Right.
But that sounds like
great.
a whole lot of fun. Pencil
Yeah.
my name in there. That sounds like a fun time. That's great. That's great. So I had one more question for you guys. Now, since you guys are now that are broken into the comic sphere, and Palm Bros will be releasing sometimes this fall. How far are we taking this comic? Is this going to be a one-off, or are we doing multiple issues down the line? Then we get in trade paperbacks, then we get into omnibuses, and then we get a whole expanded universe. What we got going on there?
Okay, so yes, issue 1 come out in the fall. That's the plan. But I think the main focus that we've got, speaking with Hades as well, is that we want it to be 3 issues to then come together as a hardback, and then release as a hardback separately after all 3 issues have come out.
Good call.
And that's the plan, that we want to kind of keep working that moving forward. But it could be, I don't know, maybe an 80s retro wrestling cartoon TV series. It could be a movie.
Right.
It could be anything.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed it could. Indeed
Yes.
it could. But I like that formula. And that's in my personal opinion, I think that's the best way to do it as well. Take it for someone that, like, for my main comic line, Troubled Rhythm Within, I released 8 issues before I did my graphic novel, and it worked out really, really well for me. And I'm still doing this tour, and my knees are hurting. I think that's the exact same way that I would do it in that regard as well. I think creating something beautiful like that, to actually be able to have a chance to expand it to an even bigger franchise, that is exactly the way to do it. And I think the way you guys are pulling this together is, for someone that's been in the comic game for many years, to see you guys come from a completely different world and want to and break in the way that you guys are doing, chef's kiss. I really like what you guys are doing. I really like what you're trying to put together. It to me, I'm a huge nerd, so this is all just exciting to me. This is all just exciting to me, to see two folks from different walks of life come together. It's like literally your lives are a movie. Let's get the crap out of the way. You guys, your lives are a movie. 2 people from completely different spectrums come together on a random whim, and then mend together like brothers and create something wonderful. That's what it's all about. And to see that you guys came together like this and to create something this cool, man, it doesn't happen too often, and I'm really happy.
And it's deeper than that too. Like, our families have become so tight that, like, I mean, we just came off a vacation together in Tennessee where we all went to the cabin, and it's been 3 weeks now. We've been home, or 2 weeks, and we want to go back. All the 4 of us keep doing in the group text is, where are we going next? We talk about, like, the comic book and the possibilities, and we're gonna do this three series, and then a hardbound book, and maybe a movie, maybe a cartoon. But I don't think it even stops there, because I think we're just getting started. Like, we've just scratched the surface of doing so much more. We've got numerous trips planned as families together.
Awesome.
We want to get in the wrestling ring, and why can't we, when we're promoting the comic book, we can go to wrestling conventions, comic conventions.
Yeah.
We can get in the ring and do stuff at random places to promote the comic book. We could run our own wrestling show, like we said. A pop-up wrestling show in a comic book store. Why not?
Imagine?
Why not?
Oh my Christ!
That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That would be insane. Just make sure you got my number on speed dial, so that I can take the first flight there. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Wow, that is really cool.
So, it's such a deeper, the bond and the connection between the 2 families. We're going back to the UK in August, so we'll be back over there, and then they're coming back here. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, it definitely is something that could be a story in itself.
Yeah, that is tremendous. That is tremendous. I mean, you guys, man, this was so much fun. It was I'm so happy that y'all were able to make some time and come and talk to me about this. This was so tremendous. Now, before we go, tell everybody where they can find you all, where they can find you on social media, all that great stuff. You can start. You can start, Paul.
Go ahead, Paul. You start.
Yeah, because mine's a bit longer. AJ's is pretty clean cut. So I'm on Facebook as Paul Johnston Naylor, which is who I am. But I am also on TikTok as Goonie Dad, as big super fan of the best movie ever made in the world. I'm not gonna lie, but that's where you can pretty much find me on both of those platforms.
Awesome. What about you, AJ?
It's on every platform there is. I am AJ Slambino. That's it. It's the one name on every Facebook, TikTok. What else? Threads, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it's called. AJ Slambino. Yeah.
MySpace.
Oh yeah.
I probably still have one.
Let's get it in. MySpace. Yeah. A Black Planet. Let's just go all the way back there, all the way back to the very, very past. But gentlemen, I want to thank you from my cold, dark heart from coming on to my show and sharing your great story, your great work, and all the great things that you guys got cooking. I really do appreciate you all, and I cannot wait to see what you guys cook up with next.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you back to you as well.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. So everybody, that there's Paul, that there is AJ Slambino. Who am I? I'm Trey, the Brute Daniels. Follow me on all my dope social media platforms. I'll put them right next to my face. They're not there yet, but they will be. At the Brute00 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But I feel like being silly on TikTok. And of course, since we're all just pimping our wares, check out my comic book, Treble the Rhythm Within. It is still live and available on all these different platforms. Definitely, I will leave a link in the description section below. So, as you guys have been fan-freaking-tastic, this has been the Indie Corner, and I will catch you all next time.